It says connecting to stream. Wait a minute. Almost have picture. Excellent connection. Still no picture. There it is. There's the picture. Okay, we have a picture. We have no people, but we have a picture. So.
Hello, everybody.
Good morning. It's Monday. Hey, Brandy B's here. XOXO Rosie Draws says hi.
Hello, hello.
AB says, hey, I'm Mr. and Mrs. Hobbit.
Good morning.
Brazen Spirituality says first. Bethany's here. Phantom is here. Yuki is here.
How's everybody doing?
How are you guys doing on a Monday?
Let's see. Should we draw with green today? What are we drawing with?
Purple. No. Like, do a brown. My mood is brown.
Your mood is brown.
Yeah, like a chocolate brown, like for fall.
All right, here we got a fall chocolate brown for Donna.
Okay, thank you.
Pencil sharpener.
Hey, Nixie is here and Steffner's here.
So
hi, friends.
Kind of a.
Let's see.
Which brown do you like better? This one or?
Oh, that one. That one.
The second one?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Gail says, morning from California. Marvelous music Monday. Today I find out if I've passed my physicals for my upcoming gallbladder removal surgery.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm sorry. You have to have surgery.
Well, I hope you passed your physicals.
Yeah.
So,
Golden Pigeon says hello.
Hello, Golden Pigeon. So,
Ooh, Sir Roach is here and Dalton's here.
We are finished with the 80s
We are.
alphabet.
We are.
This week I'll be working on the poster.
Yep.
I'll be posting videos on that. But I think it's time for me to do another larger painting, to take a little more time on a piece. And if you remember, we came up with the Gothic Vampire here during the live. This was the thumbnail that inspired it.
Hey, Jamie Brown's here.
Hey, Jamie Brown.
Morning, friend.
So this one with the dragon was kind of one of our favorites too. And
Wait, what was that one?
this one?
Yeah. That
So-
looks like stained glass behind that one.
Yeah, this one was going to be stained glass.
Oh, okay.
So I'm trying to think of things that would not only be fun for me to draw, but also fun for people to color in, because I'll scan in the
Oh yeah,
thing.
yeah.
And I think all of the little books and everything were hopefully fun for people to color in that.
You
So-
know, I never colored that. I should have colored it, but I never colored it.
So, well, hopefully we can get it on a watercolor page.
Yes, I'm still waiting for that.
Yeah. So, if you remember, after that we were talking about this piece, and we were talking about someone had asked me why I did it in a wide aspect ratio.
Yeah.
And I was saying the different aspect ratios give you different feels, and I liked how that kind of gives you more of a feeling of openness and whatnot.
What do you mean when you say openness? Can you describe that?
Like when you watch a movie in widescreen and they have like an open sky and it feels bigger.
Like it goes on forever.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Rather than being condensed into a box.
Okay. Nobody likes being condensed.
Yeah. So we did on our other live, we did, so I have these, come on. This is, I think, this gal right here. These are different photo references, if you guys remember. So we did that.
Yeah.
And so we've got tons of really good photo references that I purchased. This was talking about the lighting on the neck. These were kind of the... There's so many different things. I could do like an Art Nouveau kind of border. We could do an action scene with the pirate. You could do a castle in the background of the elf. Here's another one with a dragon going this way. Art Nouveau one. This one there's the series.
Yeah, it looks like The Last Supper.
Yeah, but it was a series. Oh, there he is. This guy. Can you guys see that okay? Mm-hmm. And he's in all of these different poses with all of these different costumes. Mm-hmm. And I thought...
did nice costumes on
Yeah,
him.
really nice. And I thought, well, what if they were... I could use the different poses and it was animals. And like a lion...
Oh my God, anthropomorphic.
Yeah, so like a lion's here, and they're all just kind of debating something about something going on.
I love that.
So that would be really, really fun, and I could do like it would be very Alma Tadema.
I love that. Yeah, it would
kind
be.
of thing,
It
you
would
know?
be only with anthropomorphic
It
animals.
would take a long time to draw
God,
and
so
lay
much
all of
time.
that out.
Yeah.
But that would be another thing that we could do. There's this series.
Okay, can you put a pin in that? Can you answer some questions first?
Yeah.
Okay, what was your favorite letter?
I think one of my favorite ones, how they came out, was probably Annie Lennox from the Eurythmics.
Okay, and how do you feel now that the series is over?
I feel good. You know, it's
Relieved?
Well, it's a two-way. It's a double-edged sword because on one hand, I don't know what to do today for the live,
Yeah,
and there's something very
comforting.
comforting to know that it's Monday, it's Wednesday, it's Friday, and I know what I'm going to do. Now, I might not know which person I'm going to pick, but
I'm doing the letter whatever today.
I know I'm working on a piece
Right.
this big. I know I'm working in watercolor.
Correct.
I know it's going to take me this much time.
Yeah,
And that's why I do those things, is because
the series.
it gives me, it takes away a lot of this.
Indecision.
This is really, really difficult for me. I don't like not knowing what I'm going to do. I don't like doing a lot of thumbnails. I don't go, well, I could do this, I could do that.
You hate that. Actually.
So I do like to know that, but then I also get bored of it too.
Why?
Because, you know, it's like, oh, I'm doing the same thing over and over and over again. So it's just the thing about being human, you know, is on one hand, I like to know what I'm eating each day. But after a while, it's like, God, I'm eating the same thing every day.
You get bored.
You know?
Yeah.
So, like...
There's consistency is a good thing, and then it doesn't stretch you.
I like having
Yeah.
a job where I know I'm going to get a paycheck, and it's like, God, I wish I could just go and do something else now. And so that's just human nature, and we accept that. So this series of photos is really kind of cool. They've got
That's
a
pretty.
knight and a queen, and
I love those deep reds. They're very regal colors.
yeah, some sort of intrigue and, whatever. And so I started drawing some of those. This one we were kind of talking again about.
Anne-Marie's here and Erica's here.
Hi, Anne-Marie. Hi, Erica. We were talking about just how... Remember we were talking about
what's that called?
the rule of threes.
The rule of three. That's
Yeah.
it. That's it. There's you and breaking the border again.
Well, yeah. Well, so here is...
I can't see the very tippy top. There you go.
Here is, a character very, very straight on. And then here we had the character off to the side. And this one is more interesting. Mm-hmm. So...
Well, it puts a character with some sort of descriptive background to it.
Yeah. And then that's it. So...
Dun, dun, dun. Gender Goblin says, I love your larger paintings. Remember to take some time for yourself and don't stress out too much. We will always be here in our respective Hobbit holes. We'll all be here
Gender
for
Goblin.
you, but not together.
Yeah.
I love that. That's great.
So we have a couple that I'm kind of leaning towards. So one is...
Could you pull that down a little bit when you work on the top? Thank you.
Yeah. So one is we have...
Lula's here from the Tea Foundry. And Lily Check is here this morning.
I like this one. So you've got this person here. Can you guys see that okay?
Yeah, it's very small. So
Yeah.
it's hard to see what it is.
So we've got her with her... She's got an arrow and a bow. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And then we could have...
It's the Harrod's tea this morning, for whoever asked. Sorry, I saw that come through.
The dragon here, right? Mm-hmm. And we could maybe even have just some smoke kind of going, along whatever. But
it's going to be interesting because there's a lot of details in the dragon.
Yeah. So we've got this one, and I could have like a castle in the background or something like that. We could look into that. So that's number one.
Or you could just do bricks.
Yeah. Okay. So then number 2 was...
Sarah says, your music alphabet has inspired me to do an animal alphabet in my sketchbook, but I only just finished the letter B the other day, but I'm still having fun.
That sounds like a lot of fun. What'd you do for B? Was it a bear or a beaver or a bobcat?
Weo Flying says, hi from Austria. I got my Gothic Vampire poster finally last week. It's very unfortunate. It got a bit destroyed on the way, but we put it in a frame and it still works.
Oh, I'm so
sorry.
We have no control. We've had people who've had their tubes literally crushed. It looks like someone ran them over.
Yeah,
and
literally.
We do our best to
we picked
send
really
out a new
solid tubes and we've packed them really carefully, and the post office is doing everything they can to make this a miserable experience.
Yeah,
for everyone,
especially when it goes overseas. It just goes through so much, and those tubes are pretty tough. So it's amazing how people can ruin them.
I swear they run them over, though. I swear they do. But I'm sorry it was a little bent, but I'm glad you're making it work. Sorry about that.
So we're gonna have some characters in the foreground, like this.
Oh, you're going a completely different way with this one.
Well, yeah. So this is the one with the all of the animals.
Oh, the anthropomorphic one.
Yeah, and there'll be like mountains in the background here, and these pillars, and a throne, and whatever. So that'll be. So this will be 1. This will be 2. Those are the 2 that I'm leaning closest to, but I want to come up with a couple more. Mm-hmm. So let's see. What do we got?
Oh, Rain says I ordered 2 and they came in beautifully. I'm so glad. Good.
Well, if you guys were planning on buying the Gothic Vampire, but you might want one of the others as well, because we're going to be doing the 80s music alphabet, and we're going to be doing the transgender and the Medusa. Mm-hmm. If you were planning on doing that, you might want to wait a couple weeks till we have them so we could ship them all out in the same tube. If you're overseas. If you're in America, it'll be the same because shipping is free.
Mm-hmm. String cheese is stuck and doesn't know what to draw, and Bethany already put in that Donna will tell you to draw a red panda, which is 100% correct, and Scott will tell you to draw something from life that is in front of you. Brazen says, this is the one I like the best. Anthropomorphize for the win. That's so funny. Chandler Doodle says, hi Scott, just wanted to say thank you for being my boost of motivation for my art as of late.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure.
Oh, Tracy says, my husband surprised me with a Gothic Vampire poster. It is so gorgeous.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, that's so sweet.
What do you guys think of this one?
I like that one. I like the background on that one.
Yeah, so let me see if I could find...
It's also another one that's very... like the candelabras. I see a fire behind her in a fireplace and the candelabras, and I see that one a little dark too. Oh, see, perfect.
But what I did was I just put like and I think I have some really cool photos that I got of a Victorian, what do we got? English living room. So I was looking at pictures, and I think these are miniatures, but I was looking at pictures of libraries and living rooms.
I remember you showing me
like
all
we
those.
could do something like that in the background, but that might not be
stunning.
the same era as that.
You have to find the right era to match it. Oh, Saroja drew a red panda last week. Ellen's here. And says, good morning. I did not get struck down by the baseball-sized destructive hail we were supposed to have last night. Oh my God, baseball-sized hail? That's dangerous. Oh my God.
So, okay, so I'll add this one as number 4.
Thank you for the 80s music playlist. It got me into some new music as a teenager who hasn't lived in the 80s.
Oh, my pleasure. You know, it's funny because there's so many good bands and good music that I couldn't add because, you know, I could only pick one. And part of me wants to just create a...
ginormous playlist.
A giant,
That's a technical term, by the way, ginormous.
Yeah, like, so I may at some point do a comprehensive 80s playlist.
Okay, so I'm going to throw out a strange question here that maybe other people are thinking but haven't asked. What if somebody sees one of these thumbnails and they think to themselves, you know, I'd really like to do a painting based on that thumbnail?
You're welcome to.
There you go.
Yeah.
So if anybody sees any ideas that they like that you guys want to do,
if you like one of these ideas and you want to do it, they're total. Now, I will say this: me personally, I don't care, but there might be artists who would get upset.
No. I'm speaking specifically about you and right now.
But that's what I'm saying. But I'm saying, like, I don't take me as the. Now, you have every right to see someone else making art and get inspired by that and copy it and whatever, you know, because you're going to do it in your own style. Like, say someone wants to do, I'm going to paint Taylor Swift as an elf.
Oh,
and I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it in an Art Nouveau style, right? And you see that and you're like, I want to draw Taylor Swift as an elf in an Art Nouveau style. There's no copyright law that says you can't do the same thing. The copyright law is you can't copy that other person's art exactly. But you can take the idea of, because that's just a combination of Taylor Swift,
of ideas,
Art Nouveau, and an elf. It's just so, but different artists are very protective about their you know, like, well, I came up with this idea. You know, it's like the person who came up with Inktober. You know, then they got upset if you you know, blah blah blah. Who gives a crap? You know, it's art and it's there for everybody to do.
Well, you don't give a crap, but other people might.
That's what I'm saying.
But it's a thing.
But just know that you can't copyright an idea. You can't. You know, like I've wrote a story just to kind of give you guys a little.
This is a good one.
So I wrote a story called Afterlife, and it's about a you know, just a near future kind of world where you can upload your consciousness to, and you know, like a program. And so if you're gonna die, you can upload that so that way people can still visit you and blah 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 blah. And I wrote a pilot for it and I shipped it out. You know, I sent the pilot out to a bunch of people, and I think a year and a half later, there came a TV series on Amazon called Upload, which was a comedy. Mine was more of a detective story, right? And then Black Mirror came out with an episode called Junipero or something like that, which was very similar too. And I can't copyright that idea. That's just stuff that's just kind of floating around in the ether, you know. It's just it's my friend Kevin Grievous, he came up with Underworld, and he had, you know, vampires versus werewolves, and there's a ton of stuff like that. You know, Twilight had it, and so it's just something that people have. You can't copyright that stuff. So if you see something here that you like, that inspires you, draw it, make art of it. If you want the photo reference, I've linked, I think Bethany has the links for all of the photo reference up on our channel. So you can use the same photo reference and, you know, do it. This stuff has been paid for. I think it's only like $8 for the entire, for like 500 photos.
Yeah, it's on our website.
Totally worth it. But
yeah, there's free stuff on our website.
There's free stuff and there's paid stuff. The stuff that we're looking at right now is paid for. But like I said, each one of these are just some of my favorite out of the hundreds of each series. So this is one series. This is another series. This is another series. That's another series. And so, I maybe spent, I don't know, $100, and I bought a whole bunch of different series, and then I grabbed the ones that I liked the best. And then I'm using those to inspire me to make a illustration.
Okay. Let me just read some comments. Scott, I'm joining a virtual art gallery and I'm going to draw an archangel for it.
Oh, nice.
Let's see. I love that one. It's giving Haunted Mansion vibes.
Yeah.
I've been following you for a year now and your videos just feel warm and soothing. Love you.
Thank you.
And Aldrin asks, any tips on using both gouache and watercolor with each other on a piece?
Yeah, I've done that. There's a video where I painted Olivia Newton-John. Here, I'll show that to you real quick.
Stephnerd says these look like Georgian living rooms and the lady looks like Tudor era. Yes, I would agree with that.
Of course you would.
It's Steph, and she's 99.99999% right. Hello.
All right, so there's a video from about a year ago that I did. I started with my favorite colored pencil, and I did a little drawing. And then I went over it with watercolors. And I was like, this is kind of interesting. But I could still see the pencils, and I think I just wanted to punch it up a little bit. So I went back over the watercolors with gouache. And I really kind of like how I could get some nice solid colors, some opaque colors in there. So this is a combination of colored pencils, watercolor, and gouache. And so the way I would do it is exactly that way. You gotta go with your pencils first, then your watercolors, and then you can come in with the gouache on top of the watercolors. Watercolors won't go on top of gouache because watercolors are transparent and gouache is opaque. So that's how you have to do it. Start off with the watercolors and then finish off with the gouache.
Rivi sent you a tip and says, yay, I love thumbnail sessions.
Thank you, Rivi.
We always think these are the most boring ones because he's not like painting or making something.
Yeah, I'm just kind of just doodling, and I think I spend more time talking.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
So this one, okay, I really like. Let me see if I can find it because I'm looking on my. It's not the iPad, but the larger screen, and then I'm gonna go down to my phone.
Oh, Erica says, Scott, not sure if you've seen it, but I did tag you on Instagram for my gouache painting and my new special sketchbook I purchased on Etsy.
Oh no, I didn't. I'll look.
I saw it, Erica. I'll show him. She got this beautiful sketchbook, like handmade sketchbook, and yeah, she painted this beautiful painting in it. Yeah, I'll show him.
Instagram is so hard because I get so many tags.
Oh my god,
like so hundreds a day.
Yeah,
and I do my best to see them all, but yeah, let me.
Yeah, but Instagram's a little out of hand.
Okay, so I love just.
I don't like her with elf ears.
Well, I like the upturn. Like I'm looking at. There was a blank page here. So.
There was a blank page in the middle? You missed a page?
I did.
Oh my gosh, say it isn't so, people.
So I like the angle and the shapes that it's creating.
Bethany says, intellectual property laws exist in copyright, trademark, and patent. There are plenty of ways to be inspired by someone's creations and expand upon them without violating any of these three laws.
Yeah, the three laws.
I think it's hard, though, because a lot of people... I don't want to say this. How do I want to say this? Those are laws that people like Scott and I and Bethany and other people would be very familiar with because of the nature of the industries that we've been in over our careers. but some people might not be familiar with those. So we'll try to do our best here between the three of us to help you guys understand that from a very, very basic, viewpoint, because we're not lawyers. So, but,
So I see this little upturn. This line right here is what attracts me.
You always did love a good upturned nose.
And the lips have the nice little line right here, which is always fun. And then I'm doing this really quick. And then this is a good jawline right there.
What makes that a good jawline?
Just a nice line. It's just a nice
Do you think it's nice because of the shape of her face or because of the shadow that the light's creating?
Maybe a little bit of both. But this is a horrible sketch. But what I'm saying is it's this line, the little lip thing here, and then this, and this is a good angle, because I could do something like this, if I wanted to. But, God, that's an ugly drawing. It's just...
Stop. Are these thumbnails for a bigger painting or just for fun?
Thumbnails for a bigger painting. So, if you just got here, maybe January, February we were doing this? I was doing some thumbnails, and this one inspired the Gothic vampire painting. And if you haven't seen the Gothic vampire, here is a folded up poster.
Oh, I'm totally yeah, that's a... Yeah.
But you could see it's got the light and the little skull and everything that we just kind of came up during a live. And
Nako asks, how long should you spend on an artwork? I've asked other artists and they always say it's up to you. It's never been helpful to me because I have a hard time pacing. I either rush or take too long.
It is up to you, but I'll add to that. So what you need to do is think about how much time you want to put into a piece. So like right now, when I was doing the 80s alphabet, I knew I only wanted to put in 90 minutes per painting. So I worked, here, I'll show you. So,
Do you underpaint?
no, I layer. I will underpaint when I do gouache. So this is 90 minutes. I find a photograph and I copy it as closely as possible. I stylize it a little bit. It's very quick and I'm done. And I've accomplished something and I'm happy. This was about, what would we say, about 3 weeks?
Oh, it was easily 3 weeks, yeah.
And it was from, it was design, and then it was drawing it. I had to pencil all of this, and then I inked all of it, and then I was working on the colors and everything that went into it. Took about 3 weeks. I knew this was going to take long, and I didn't give myself a time limit. So there are pieces that you don't give yourself a time limit, and you go, I'm just going to see where this goes. And then there's pieces where you go, I'm going to give myself 90 minutes, or I'm going to give myself an hour, I'm going to give myself 3 hours. And you work at a size and a pace that helps you along the way. But that's... I was an illustration major, and so we went to school with the knowledge and the training of how to accomplish a task. The U.S. Post Office wants you to make a stamp, and your deadline is this date. So you need to do this many thumbnails to get them approved, and then you got to send in typed pencils, get those approved. do
Right.
color comps, get those approved. So it was.
That's how you were taught.
That's how we were taught, but it was to make sure that we knew how to budget our time so that
Right.
way we could meet our deadline, because an illustrator who can't meet deadlines is not going to get work. And
Right.
whereas a fine artist just waits for the muse to hit them, and they paint what they want to, and they live a very bohemian life, and they, there's usually
Okay.
some benefactor that helps, whether it's family or a rich person who likes their work, that keeps them alive. And
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? And so
Gotcha.
I was more of the illustrator kind of training, which was, you have work, you got to go and get work, you got to
By
make
a
sure
deadline.
you're trustworthy and you're dependable with your art, and your art to be accomplished in a quick time. So you learn to work smaller. So yeah. So another factor that I'm thinking is that as much as I like the horizontal pieces, if I'm doing shorts, they're really hard to show on a vertical
Right.
format. So something like this would look better, but a dragon, like I could, if I wanted to. Let me go back here to these. Where's the ugly drawing? There we go. So I could.
No. Elena's art says, "Hey Scott, I asked you Friday if you ever wanted to delete a video after posting. I just posted my first ever, so I was feeling self-conscious about it. Thanks for helping me be brave and leave it up."
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. I'm proud of you for doing that. So if I wanted to turn this into a vertical image, right? I could still keep her over here. With the arrow. Right? So she's over here. And then I could have the dragon kind of like this, right?
You could.
And that might not be a bad one too.
That's interesting. Now that you do that. Okay, you want to answer a couple more questions?
Yeah, sure.
What do you think you plan to do on Halloween? Well, we're probably going to
Eat
sit
a
on
lot
the
of
couch.
candy.
Yeah, and eat candy and wait for people to ring the doorbell.
We may get one or two. We're in a little more of a rural
Neighborhood.
suburban area. We are each on an acre, and so it just depends on the year. Sometimes kids come to the front door, and sometimes they don't.
our part of the street is dark at night, and so I think parents don't want to come all the way down here because our end of the street
we're
is
in the
dark.
end of a cul-de-sac
Yeah.
and whatnot. But that's definitely something that we miss having the boys. But Donna would always take the boys through the neighborhood, and I would stay home and
I would
watch TV and
their-
wait for the doorbell to ring.
Their friends would come with us, and we'd go to our local grocery store, and they would have all these games and everything.
Publix would always have games.
And
they would get dressed up.
We'd get sandwiches, or we'd get like chicken, or we'd get something, and we'd eat dinner there, and they'd play all the games, and then we'd drive around the neighborhood with the dog in the car. And
she would
it was
sometimes
great.
you would pop the back of the minivan open and let them sit in the back.
They
and
would
jump out from.
They'd jump out between house to house, or they'd be like, "Go to the next one, Mom."
Yeah, we'll meet you
there. And so Arwen and I we'd drive like 2 houses down if all the lights were on, and the boys
Arwen would have her head out the window, barking at the boys,
barking. "I can't see you. Come back where I can." She was little mama. Oh, it was the greatest thing. Halloween was my happy time. I got the boys and their best buddies, and that was like, and all the moms were like, "Oh, great, she's got the boys. We don't have to worry about them." And I would just think that was like my holiday. It was like I got all the boys, and it was, and they'd feed me candy in the front seat, and I'd have a big old cup of tea, and it was great. I miss that. That I miss.
Okay.
Anyway.
And then as the boys got even older,
Oh, God.
you would go over to Lucy's and
We'd
sit
go-
by the by the bonfire.
Well, the
and
boys wanted to pass out
Donna
candy
would
and
get
scare
herself
kids.
sick on marshmallows. I don't know what it is about that, but she would drink wine and eat marshmallows and come home green.
I would, and it wasn't the wine. I ate. It was so funny. Their boys and their friends still talk about it. One Halloween, I ate 20 because she had these big fire pits out by her in the back of her yard, and the boys wanted to scare the kids and give out candy. So we gave them all the candy, and we'd sit on the back patio, and we'd sit there and we'd talk about everything. We'd laugh and we'd listen for the kids screaming out front, so we could go run and hopefully not have kids being mad at our kids because they scared them to death. But one Halloween, I ate 25 marshmallows, and I'm not talking.
They're not the little ones; they're the big ones.
I'm not talking. Yeah, not the normal size marshmallows, like the new big giant I ate 25 giant marshmallows, and I gave up on the s'more part of it halfway through the night. I was like, I don't need the graham crackers. Give me them, and I ate those things. Oh my God, I was so sick the next day. I had marshmallow hangover. Oh, it was awful. It was great while I was eating the marshmallows. Oh my God, it was so good. But oh, it was horrible the next day. Let's see. You guys did want story time. You always said you liked story time. Good morning from New York.
Good morning.
Oh, it's New York in the fall. That reminds me of You've Got Mail. I'd buy you school supplies, bouquets of sharpened pencils. Anyway, Nora Ephron, love that. Let's see. We did that. What motivates you to make art?
I do love the idea of there's a blank piece of paper, and then a few hours later, there's a piece of art. Mm-hmm. I like that. I like bringing something into the world that, wasn't there before. So, and then there's also just, I kind of look at myself as a collector of the beauty that I see in the world. Mm-hmm. And so in a lot of ways, I see that. And I like to collect it in my journals and, whatnot.
Okay, I'm drinking the Harrods tea today. Let's see.
So I haven't decided how much of this character you're going to see. But let's see.
Lots of people want to know if we're having a good day.
I think so.
This right here, wait, I'll show you, is why I try so hard to make it for every live, says Brazen. You never know what you're going to get with us, right? Let's just roll the dice and see what happens today.
So I wonder if I have the head kind of more like this. I'm actually looking at one of Frank Cho's dragons.
Oh, how funny.
Yeah.
Your 80s alphabet was so much fun. I enjoyed watching the progression and looking forward to seeing the finished poster.
Oh, thank you.
Well, Scott has to... Somebody else asked when it's going to be happening. All right, so you have to put it together, and then we have to send it in and get the proof back, and then we have to have it printed.
Yeah.
So 2 to 3 weeks?
Yeah, probably.
For a finished poster. I am drinking the Harrods tea, and I only have like a quarter of the cup left, which is really sad because I only brought 1 cup down with me today. Sniffle. I might have to go up and make another one. Do you have any tips for getting out of art block?
Yeah. I could even put like a little castle back here too. Go outside, draw the world around you, keep a journal is one. Go to a museum. Look at other artists and get inspired by them. Those are my favorites.
What is your earliest memory of drawing?
I think it was copying Spider-Man.
I could see that. I could see you laying down in front of the TV and copying, while you're watching Spider-Man. Yeah. Hi from Germany. Is
Hello.
Handwriting related to art skills? No.
No, I have horrible handwriting.
He has the worst handwriting. Yeah, no good. Would you do an art piece for September 30th?
Is there something going on September 30th?
I don't know. Sienna, what's going on September 30th? Herdes is hi from Iceland.
Hello.
Favorite Halloween movie?
It's a Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
That's mine. You never watch those with me.
Yeah.
Sniffle. Snoopy's the best. Sniffle. You don't really watch anything.
I don't really.
You like
watch...
those old black and white ones. Oh, and the Frankenstein one, the funny one.
Abbott and Costello.
No, the funny one.
Oh, Young Frankenstein?
Young Frankenstein.
That's not a Halloween movie.
Well, it could be.
What do you guys think? Do you guys like this one better than this one?
Have you tried Posca pencils yet? Posca makes pencils?
I have not.
Emma says, afternoon, the world needs more tea today. Amen, sister, I'm telling you.
So, we got... Yeah.
Frankie says, I wish you could do each and every one of those thumbnails. They all look so good.
So you remember it was originally this one, but I wasn't really happy with this character. And I like this one better. But do you guys like the tall one? With the dragon behind like this? Or do you like... I'm starting to like this one.
Pull it down a little bit because we can't see all four of them. Thank you.
I like this shape. Mm-hmm. So if you look...
Is it a flow thing?
Yeah. So if you look, it's going like this and bringing you back to her. So you have this kind of... You see that?
Yeah.
So you got this, and then the body's going to kind of come up, and then the head's going to be there. But I just have to decide, do I do... Hold on.
If you guys hear noises in the background that is not a pencil sharpener, our neighbor behind us is being stupid and started a tree chipper at 7:45 this morning. So any funky noises you hear is that.
So I have her even smaller, and you see the whole body, right? And then the dragon's even bigger. See what I'm saying? Or do we like her?
Then you lose all the background.
Oh, we lose the background in here. He's covering up regardless. Okay. What I'm saying is that she's smaller, which makes the dragon bigger. Mm-hmm. But I think it'll be a little more interesting because the photo's really pretty.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I think I could make her like an elf or something like that. Would be kind of fun and do some good stuff. But I don't think it gets very interesting past here. Like, you know, I don't think this is really...
What size is the painting going to be?
Well, the Gothic Vampire is on...
It's 11 by 20.
Yeah. But the paper is...
14 by 20.
14 by 20. Mm-hmm. And then, but I did buy this larger cold press. Oh
my God.
That is
18 by 24.
18 by 24.
So if you were going to do that one, you'd have to turn it sideways. Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd have to be...
But what I'm saying is that now it's cold press, which is really bumpy. So the inking is going to be a little hard. So should I go? But the watercolors will look really nice on it. Mm-hmm. You know? Mm-hmm.
That was one of the problems you had with the Gothic Vampire.
Yeah, well, the Gothic Vampire had so many little tiny details that there wasn't big open spaces for the watercolor. Mm-hmm. So if I'm going to work in hot press, mm-hmm. I should work with a lot of, like, this one would be fine. Mm-hmm. Because it's going to be a lot of small detail, a lot of inking, you know.
Right.
So
then that's what you're going to have to decide which one you want to do, and
so
then you decide what paper.
A lot of, you know, scales and ridges and horns mm-hmm. and whatnot. Then there's not a lot of open white space. Mm-hmm. that you'll notice that it's hot press. But I think I'll probably do it on the 14 by 20 hot press.
Oh, Jamie's going to come watch all the Charlie Browns with me. They've always been my favorites. You're on, girl.
So, what do you guys think? This one, which is... This one is really fun.
Yeah.
But I'm starting to like this one. And it's kind of funny because when we were doing these thumbnails, it was this one and this one. And I was leaning towards this one, but I wound up doing this one. And so now I'm kind of leaning towards this one, but I might do this one. So I feel like sometimes they have to sit in your head a little bit longer before
kind of mull it around.
Yeah, So again, had I done this painting, would it be as nice as this painting or this one?
I like that one. I like the vertical. I think that's a really interesting perspective.
Yeah.
Do you have any warm-up or training exercises for beginners?
There is a series of 1-minute figure drawing that I did about a month ago. And there should be a playlist for that. And I would recommend that. And there's also a series called Draw Everything Every Day. I would look at that.
And Brazen, it was totally worth the marshmallow hangover. I did it the year after too, but only not as bad. My girlfriend just buys marshmallows now and takes pictures of them and sends them to me when she's in the grocery store. Thinking of you, and she'll shoot a picture of a bag of marshmallows. She does. It's really funny.
Just taunting you.
She does. She knows. I bring the wine. She brings the marshmallows. Life is good.
All right. Well, I think I am. So, I'm happy to answer more questions. This has to kind of sit in my head for a little bit.
Okay.
So I'm probably not gonna do any more thumbnails this morning.
Okay. Young Frankenstein is one of the best movies ever. What pencil sharpener are you using?
I am using the AFMAT. Not the best, but they sent it to us.
And as you can tell, those hair journal stickers have gotten everywhere. So, yeah.
Yeah, they're even.
Which poster colors would you suggest to a newbie?
Which poster colors? I've never really used poster colors.
What pencils are you using?
These are watercolor pencils by
Bethany
Pentel.
says, yep, sometimes ideas have to marinate.
Yeah.
The vertical person is cooler, but it is also an overdone book cover type of image. I like the horizontal.
Ah.
I like the vertical dragon. Erica says, the one you like with the bigger head. I do like that one too. If you use cold press, does it have the potential to give the dragon-like texture to the dragon? That's a good question.
Yeah, that's possible. Yeah, this does kind of, when you do the vertical, it does kind of have a book cover. I didn't think about that kind of feel to it.
Tracy says, the one where the character is in focus looks so powerful to me. Both the dragon and the character exude strength, where the zoomed out version is only focused on the scale of the dragon.
Oh, okay, I get it. Where they're up close rather than...
Literally, Z says, I'm a dragon fan, so I say dragon. Oh. Shaun of the Dead is definitely my go-to every year for Halloween. What if you cut the warrior off at the waist so you could show even more of the dragon's body length?
It's possible, yeah. So what'll happen is, what always happens is, I'll get to the actual big piece, and then I'll draw it, and then I'll erase it, and then I'll draw it. And so I'll do that a bunch of times too. So I
about 100.
Yeah, I will, like when I did the Gothic Vampire, it was just, I think it's a bit wider than this, maybe, but this came out actually almost identical. But I did, if you guys notice, I did add like a little tail of the the dress kind of coming up on the back, and I played around with the hair a little bit. Like, did I want it to go? And then I decided against it. But
I remember that you did play with the hair. You were trying to see if you could make it more.
But what I liked was I liked this line going from the neck, the little collar on the neck, coming down to her chest, and then bringing it back like that. What kind of gave it some motion, almost like an arrow, and so it kind of just a little cartoony.
It's like you can see the movement in the painting, like she's walking past the bookshelves.
And when you get to the final piece, it's not as pronounced, but it's kind of just got this.
But it does have a movement
to it, where it just kind of goes, and then I think picking it back up, and then I wanted this very red, and so I did that. So it's like. These are the things that you kind of work out when you're doing your sketches. You sometimes it's just accidental because you're just looking at a photo, and I I made sure her neck was very long. So look at the distance from her neck. This would be her clavicle around here. It's we kind of give her a good sized neck, and I could have really stretched it out even more if I wanted to.
You did that in one of your other paintings.
Yeah. Sometimes I think it's fun to kind of
exaggerate it.
Yeah.
This is my first live with you. That's Lady Joelle.
Oh, thanks. It's a little chaotic today. Usually, I know exactly what I'm doing, but I think sometimes these are good to do. Because otherwise I'd just be sitting here listening to music. So
any suggestions on how to make art more of a sustainable job, or just tips on how to start moving towards something like that? That's Kay.
I would find an industry like animation or video games that are lucrative, and do that. I worked in both animation and video games for the good first half of my life, and we did much better financially because we had health
steady
insurance
paycheck.
and steady paychecks and whatnot. That is definitely the easiest way. After a while, I branched off into writing my own books, and we made our own movie, and now I'm doing stuff on YouTube, and you can just kind of just go. But as far as a steady paycheck and a good way to support yourself, I would go with video games or animation. Video games would be number one, and then animation.
What is your favorite wine? Okay, I've been drinking, and this is since we've been home from Venice, which has been a year this month, if you can believe that. I've been drinking Italian wines, and I like them so much better. I used to be a Napa wine snob, but I like the Italian stuff now. I can't remember, do you still use watercolor paper for gouache?
Yes, I use hot press watercolor paper.
For gouache?
For gouache. And it doesn't matter. You don't have to get the nice arches, because when you're using gouache on that, the gouache is really going to sit on top of the paper, so you just want a smooth surface.
Okay. Let's see. Have you guys watched Good Omens on Amazon Prime?
I watched the first season, and I really loved it, and I painted Aziraphale.
Oh, don't ask me.
Michael Sheen's character. There's a video on it, but I have not watched season 2 yet.
Is the thumbnail above the dragon one of a group of people?
Yes, that one is. I have photos. Let me see where they are.
Have you watched Wheel of Time? I don't know what that is.
I tried watching the first episode, wasn't really that interested in it, and
Molly has never drawn thumbnails before and loves it.
Yeah, these are really fun. So I saw all of these photos, and so I decided to kind of put like a crowd of them. So just take all of the different photo references and their different ones, but have them be anthropomorphic, like they're having some sort of meeting, or whatever. And I could have these columns and a city in the background, very Sir Lawrence Alma-Tadema-ish. And so that's what this one would be.
Any advice for hand cramps when you draw because you're holding or pressing too hard? That's Megan.
We were taught in art school to hold our pencil like this, very loose, and I don't do that. I hold my pencil like this, but my drawing is all done like this. So I don't use my hand much to do that. So I rest my hand and I do this. If you're really holding tight, a lot of times that's just your insecurity. That's just stress. That's just your nerves. And I think maybe doing some warm-up sketches, maybe doing some learning to hold your pencil a different way, and just try filling up a sketchbook with doodles, figure drawing, or whatever. It's going to help you release that grip, because we hold it really tight when we're really nervous, when we're really insecure. And you do want to don't let your stress find its way to the paper.
What mediums do you work with the most?
Watercolor and ink.
Are you still... I think Daniel wanted to know if we were selling and signing the posters.
We're still signing the posters, yes, and selling them. I'm making the 80s music alphabet poster this week, and we'll also have the actually we have... This is a little proof of one, but this is smaller. But I removed the center stitching and everything, and I'll be doing the same thing with the Medusa. And so we'll have the trans, we'll have the Medusa, and we'll have the 80s music alphabet
in about 3 weeks.
In a few weeks, and I'm considering including, because we'll have these.
Marguerite says, a la dog face boys playing poker.
Yeah. I'm considering the hijab and also the lesbians. But I don't know. I get a lot of people requesting the hijab, but I don't know if they're just saying that and they actually want to buy them or what. So, because it's an investment of like $1,000 for each poster that we have to do, and
it is. It's
and
a lot.
So I don't know if I want to do that just yet. But if it's something that you would want to buy, let me know.
Taylor, I am seeing your message. Do you have any plans to take part in Inktober?
I don't know. Last year I did October, and the previous years, and the previous years I've done Inktober, and they're fun. But I'll have to look and see. We're hoping that we're going to be too busy to do that, but we'll see.
You never know.
And I think I'm ready to go get something to eat.
Okay, we can be done then.
Yeah, if you guys don't mind.
Yeah, we can be done. That is not a problem. Thanks for being here, everybody. I hope you had a good time with us today. We'll be back on Wednesday. That's
and in a couple hours, I'm going to be posting just a compilation video of all of the 80s music.
Yeah.
I spent
all the pieces together.
I spent yesterday just kind of putting little two seconds per painting with the music, and it's kind of cute. So I'm just gonna do a little intro and then post that. But
Brazen says last week someone suggested October.
October, yeah, that's true.
That could be another one. Yes, Scott has used crayons. There's a Crayola playlist. You can check that out. All right. And all of the art supplies, let me just throw this out, that Scott uses are on the website. All the art supplies we've tried, also listed on the website, ssavaart.com. So, and I know Emma just put the link in there. So you guys can check that out. And thanks for being with us today. And I will talk to you guys on Wednesday.
Bye.
Bye.